We're back with Supergirl, and it's a rocky start. I think I preferred Indigo over Brainy, and I definitely prefer when they do less political.
Welcome to the heart of the stories we tell. My name is Rob, and tonight I will be reviewing.
American Alien, Episode 1, Season 4 of Supergirl. And alright, Supergirl is always the show that's been rah-rah female power, and I kind of like that about it. But it's also been the show that they've kind of thrown all the SJW stuff into and tried to force all the political stuff on. And I don't understand why. They have all the shows they could spread it out to. Well, last year we had a little bit of a switch around, and as such, this year we've got a Legion member as a permanent member instead of Win. That didn't work out so well either. But alright, for those of you that don't know who I am, what I do here is I take apart stories, the how and why we tell them, and then come up with theories on how and why we tell stories. I review stories like this, and this one's not doing so good, but click subscribe if you're interested in hearing more. This year we also are getting Mercy Graves, and Mercy is like Harley Quinn, one of the characters invented for the cartoons in the 90s that made the crossover to the comics and now is almost ubiquitous with the series. Mercy is very much part of the Superman mythos, and I'm glad to see her here on Supergirl. But that's enough before we hit this up.
So once again, it's stop. Spoiler time. Ba-da-na-na.
So okay, let me just really quickly run through that we already knew about the president. We've already seen things going on where they've tried to use their in-show president to take a few pot shots at politicians. And I have to say that this time they were trying to be timely, it seemed, not as heavy-handed, but it still keeps coming off as, hey, this is Supergirl, let's throw as much political stuff in there and then keep it out of the other shows. Okay, that rant aside. We also get Mercy introduced. Now, Mercy has been very different across each incarnation. The brother is an interesting concept, but at the end of the day, she really is just a human being who is really badass. Yeah, her being able to fight with some tech gives Alex someone on par with, not Supergirl, though. And I just want to jump to the end where I got so annoyed where the plan of fake shooting her brother and the brother screaming for Supergirl did anything. Supergirl's fast enough that she could catch him, zoom back, and still catch Mercy. The fact that they could somehow outrun her on motorcycles to begin with annoys me. But as always, the interpersonal stuff is where they go best. And that's where I really want to talk about this. Alex says she's back in the dating world, so I'm guessing that we're not going to see Maggie again. And I'm really kind of disappointed because I kind of liked that relationship. But I am glad that they're not going to do the whole back and forth thing. That's good. And the other thing I'm really glad about is they aren't jumping Supergirl into a relationship, which would be mad easy because there's already a precedent for her and Brainy. Meanwhile, Brainy is boring. Oh, gee, fish out of water. Never seen that before. And the fact that they just casually jumped time and we're all like, yeah, it's been months. And the supercomputer is not capable of integrating in months. Okay. Then we have the Lena story. Now, Lena is another one of those great aspects. She right now is trying to be a better Luthor, but at the same time has the Luthor instincts. So last year, last year it got introduced that James was Guardian. And with that out in the public, he was being charged. Now, she did some underhanded stuff to get him off. It's one of those, hey, sometimes it's good to have a bad person as your ally, because they do the bad things no one else would do. Of course, Supergirl and James would be very disappointed and probably even upset with her if they knew what she had done. But at the same time, it was something that kind of needed to be done because we really needed to just get off of this storyline and whether he's a vigilante or a hero. Speaking of heroes who aren't being heroes, with the death of John's father, he's decided to take the less aggressive way of helping people. And as much as I did like the whole I can't carry a sword thing, that falls apart entirely when, could you use your telepathy? How about just your shape-changing? Could you just shape-change into someone and stand around just to be a decoy? I mean, there's lots of non-combat things you could do. Meanwhile, Alex is the head of the DEO, and as general, I enjoy the fact that she kicks ass. But I don't enjoy her being in command. I think this was a missed opportunity. And this is going to get me on my rant for a minute here. Something I've gone on about with other shows, too. When you have a field agent who is awesome at their job and at the peak of their game, do not promote them out of the field. And if you have someone who's in command, don't put them in the field. Those are two different skill sets. Yes, when your field agent gets older and can no longer perform in the field as well, that's a perfect time to elevate them up to being in charge. Right now, in the top of her game, when she's really the best agent you have, horrible. Although I do wonder if that guy they introduced at the beginning will show up again. Maybe she'll take on more of a leader role, and he'll take on more of the spunky agent who takes everyone down role. I doubt it, because this is the girl power show. And like I said before, they can't share that because they just don't put as much oomph behind putting these themes into other shows. But alright. By the end of the episode, we also have this entire political thing about turning on aliens. And I really feel like that is a great course to talk about. The otherism of it. Hey, you know what's the matter with this country? Those other people that aren't you, those other people are causing problems. Unfortunately, psychologically speaking, it's also a great way to motivate people, both for good and ill. And I think we're going to showcase that, and I hope they do it with a great way of, oh, right, they can't do that, they're going to just hit us over the head with things. Like Agent Liberty, one of the good guys, one of the Justice League members, is instead going to be this bad guy who just kills people, because Agent Liberty's going to be part of the oppression, because he's government. I wonder if they'd do that to Captain America. And then, of course, comes the fact that the president's an alien. And realistically, I said way back when this was going to cause a problem. She really did deceive people to get into office. And now that I feel dirty for supporting the bad guys, I'm going to leave this up to you guys. What do you think? Was Supergirl this week any good? What parts did you like and what parts didn't you like? My big down points were Brainy, the political angle, and Agent Liberty. But let's see what you think. And of course, like all YouTubers, this is the point where I'm going to ask you to like and share this video. And if you haven't already, click that subscribe button to join our little community. There's also one other little thing I could ask you to do. I have a Patreon up. And starting actually tonight with tonight's episode, there's going to be an entire subsection of my theory videos going up just for Patreons. So if you're interested, help me out. But if not, I'll talk to you later. For now, just join the community, talk, find out something about what's going on. Let me know your thoughts as we walk through the heart of the story of Supergirl. Have a good night.